look at the finishes. There are only 2 drivers that have finished in the top 10 in all 5 races. That's Carl Edwards and Justin Allgaier. But the 32 car with multiple drivers makes it 3.
All single digits over there on the right. That's a true testament, like I said, to this team. They're doing a great job.
So between Vickers and Reed Sorensen, they've given that car some great rides. So we've got 4 cars down, and we're not going to try and build any false drama. There's only 1 car going to be going home, 44 cars here, but we talked about how important it is to be up front. On the track right now is Eric McClure, the 31-year-old from Virginia, and the tracker is heading south.
Yeah, not looking good right now. Marty, you talked about only 1 car going home. I'm going to go back to this a little bit. Yeah, 1 car's going home, but this track position, these guys have got to qualify well. I know when I run here, Andy, this track, if you qualified back, it seems like the leaders were on the front straightaway and you were on the back straightaway. We were so far behind, and you could never get caught up in the race.
Yeah, even if you have a fast car, it's so difficult at these flat 1-mile racetracks to make that track position. It takes, lap after lap to set somebody up to make a pass on them, and then, they get strung out on you. Like you said, you'll be looking at that leader in your mirror if you're not careful.
Well, Eric's first lap, 29.6 seconds. That's the slowest of the 5 cars to take time so far. And a little better on this lap, but still no threat to make a major march towards the front. And it's sliding lower here as he comes to the stripe. The end of lap number 2, and he crosses the line a half a second quicker, 29.1 official qualifying attempts. And coming out now, Greg Biffle. And boy, we have said this about the last 3 races. What this guy and this team have done together has just been phenomenal.
Yeah, I heard actually it was Shannon Spake talking about how Ricky Vires-Crucci said that Biffle was an underrated driver in that garage area. I don't know who's doing the rating, but I don't rank him down very far. I'm telling you, this guy is a wheel man. He gets everything there is out of a race car. He's doing a great job for this team. And you can just see how happy he is. I mean, they're having a lot of fun. There's Ricky Vires-Crucci.
Look at this. This is close to a pole position run right now. In fact, it looks like he's into the green by 1/10 of a second. Can he hold on to it? Here he comes to the stripe. Lap number 1. Yes, sir. 27.66 seconds.
Okay, he needs to try to get a better lap here on this second lap because there's a lot of good cars left to go.
Well, he is rim riding.
That is an incredible first lap. Very, very fast, but it looks like
that might be it for him.
Yeah, their money lap was the first one.
Well, it looked like he got a little high coming through 1 and 2. And as he comes out of 4, it will not be as good as the first lap. So he'll stand on that 27.66 second effort, and this one was at 27.9. So fell off a little bit on lap number 2, but right now you're looking at Greg Biffle, who is your temporary pole sitter, as we saw. And we talked to James Busher a little bit earlier about the incident from last week. He's now out on track and on his first lap.
The car did some real wicked looking thing getting down into turn 3. I noticed the left front was way up in the air, then it just slammed itself down like maybe it's not enough grip in the tires yet to keep the front end hooked up. That'll give you that weird look every now and then if the tires aren't warmed up enough.
Yeah, there's Nick Harrison. He's the crew chief on the car, and I'm sure he's going to go back and look at this too. You can see how it is pretty harsh when it sets down, and it's not doing exactly what they want right now.
And of course, the big challenge is we're going to be racing when the track is going to be cooling off, the sun's going to be going down, temperature's going to be dropping. And what do you compromise on? 28.31 on the second lap. That'll be good enough for 12th out of 14 cars.
Here.
It's the little team that could, and Phoenix means a lot to Mike Wallace. It's where he got his first. Okay, hold on. What?
We're the Who Dat team. Like to say, Who Dat? That's us.
Well, maybe they'll win the Super Bowl this year. Mike Wallace made his first Cup start here. He also made a start here with his 2 brothers. First time that happened, Marty.
Thank you, Shannon, as they're getting ready to push down a little bit closer to their time to run. On the track right now is Victor Gonzalez. He's 34 years old from Puerto Rico. He's the first driver from Puerto Rico to compete in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. He raced with the series last year at Montreal, started 36th, and came home a very respectable 14th.
Well, Victor actually had a crash this morning. He tore the back of that car up pretty good, and I believe this is a backup car right now.
Whoa.
So he's got some a tough job ahead of him to get this thing in the field because he didn't hardly have any time in this car after that wreck.
Did you see that thing sashaying down into 3?
Yeah, he did a good job to save it right there.
I thought for a second we were going to scratch off number 2. All right, first lap, he is 21st out of 21 cars. It was 29.7 seconds. That gives you an idea. Now watch him coming through here. This is where he had trouble before, heading from here down into 3 and much cleaner.
Yeah, he doesn't need to take any chances because he is guaranteed a spot. He'll be in the race no matter what, and only one car going home, so doesn't want to tear up another car.
And I would think the crew chief would be telling them that, hey, just get this thing around. Let's get it qualified. That's all we need right now.
Yeah, they are 28th in owner points. The top 30 are guaranteed, but they're only 26 points ahead of 31st, so the race will be very important for this. Ran a 28.51. That was good enough to put him 21st, right ahead of where Kenny Wallace finds himself right now. So as we get ready now for Joe Nemechek to come out on track, he'll be our next car to qualify here. Track right now, the ambient temperature outside 85 degrees. It's expected to drop to between 80 and 82 by the start of the race, but by the finish of the race, it'll be 76. Crew chief,
pretty big swing.
Yeah.
You're going to have a lot of adjustability in the car. I talked to Ricky Vires, crew chief for Greg Biffle. He said he expected the track to actually get tighter tonight, and they have set their car up accordingly, and they're going to make adjustments during the race.
I would do the same thing.
That tells me they're doing something right. If you could do that.
Oh, I don't know about that, but Andy, one thing that drives me crazy is every single time we've come to this racetrack, the track always gets tighter. But with these setups in the front of these Nationwide cars, the coil bound setup, we actually saw a lot of cars, as it cools off, the track gets looser. And that really throws a lot of teams for a loop, that one.
Especially when you're expecting to go one way and it doesn't. It goes the other. Then you don't have enough adjustability to go that direction.
Joe Nemechek on his first lap, currently 19th. His best start here was back in 04 when he qualified 10th.
He's going to pick it up a little bit right here on the second lap.
Yes, he is. He moves up to
10th.
10th, exactly where he started, where we mentioned his best start. Now, probably won't stay there because we still...
That's a good sponsor.
So as Joe coasted on out, it'll be up to Mike Bliss to take to the track, and Mike turned 45 last Monday, and we'll wish him a happy birthday. His best start here was back in 08. He started 5th. He's had 4 consecutive top 10 finishes here at Phoenix International Raceway.
When I see Mike Bliss in a Nationwide car, Andy, I just immediately think of that number 11 car that he drove last year, of how strong he was every single race, top 5 all the time. Then the doggone team ran out of money and they decided to quit racing. But boy, he was fantastic in that car.
Yeah, that was a shame. They had something really going good there with that team. But, this 40 teams had some good runs also. Mike Bliss, just a great driver to build a team around.
His first lap, good enough for 23rd right now at 28.75 seconds.
He's really going to have to pick it up the second lap. That was not a good run at all. Definitely not the way Mike Bliss normally drives. He really runs strong at this racetrack.
You mentioned how consistent he was last year in this car. He's got 1 top 10 finish in the first 5 races this season, as this team has been on a bit of a struggle. As you can tell by the quarter panels, they're looking for money, just like a bunch of teams are. Second lap, 28.6 seconds. He'll
do, and certainly not where we want to be, but I know we've got a really good group of guys, so I'm not really too concerned about getting in. I'm more concerned down the road. We got to get inside the top 30 in case we have a race where it does rain out. So, that's our whole goal this weekend, is to get back inside the top 30 and get back in that comfort zone.
And his teammates on the pole right now, so the Fords are fast here today. Marty?
Whoa, and as you finish up, Shannon, Mike Wallace gets it sideways, coming out of 4. His first lap, 29.05 seconds. That's 26th.
He's driving a car awful hard right now, really giving it everything it's got. And the car looks pretty loose to me right now. And as that onboard computer, I call it, as the driver kicks in, hey, that first lap, I can't drive it that hard. I got to alter my driving a little bit, Andy.
Yeah, it's working his second lap. Looked like he used some of that dirt track experience coming off turn 4 that last lap, though.
He still hacks on that wheel. You could see his hands working inside there. Second lap, as he comes across the line, moves him up a couple of spots to 24th at 28.53 seconds. So a total of 28 cars have taken times here. Still more to come.
That, we knew we were going to be loose qualifying, and you just got to give it up in the heart of the day. And I feel like we got a car that will contend for a win tonight.
All right, Marty, one of only a couple of drivers who finished top 10 every race this season.
Yeah, in fact, it is just he and Carl Edwards, and then we mentioned the 32 car with two different drivers, Brian Vickers and Reed Sorensen. Right now, Kevin LePage, as we are now into the go or go homers, as he must qualify on time. And right now, his first lap puts him 26th, 28.53 seconds.
Like I said, there's only one car going home. Not a lot of pressure there, but you don't want to be the slowest guy out of this group, or you will be the guy going home.
Yeah, you don't want to say, oh, no problem. I'm locked in this baby. Only one car is going to go home. And you
Showcase on ABC. Coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern with GMC Sierra NBA Countdown. Getting close to crunch time in the NBA. Playoffs just around the corner. We're just now looking at the sixth race of 35 for the NASCAR Nationwide Series here tonight at 9 Eastern on ESPN2. And on track right now is Michael McDowell. And now, since we are into the go or go home category, the tracker will be in comparison to where Kevin LePage is right now, as he is 25th on the grid. And so far, Michael McDowell is better, and yes, he is, 28.253. So he has already locked himself in.
Already. Now he's going to go try to get a little more. See, now we're tracking him actually to the pole sitter, Carl Edwards, and he's got a great lap going here, tracking 8th down the backstretch.
He's got new sponsorship this weekend with Roto-Rooter. New paint scheme on the 81. Going a little south through 3 and 4, but still better than lap number 1.
Yeah,
in fact, it's really good. Moves him into the top 10.
Good job, 27.96 P10. Awesome, buddy. Awesome job.
Very good.
A lot of tore-up race cars. I know about that, so I'm not saying anything about it. That's for sure. It's a tough one. Cost Jack a lot of money.
Well, and the other thing to remember about Roush Fenway Racing, they have more wins here than anybody else. I mean, 7 victories in the Nationwide Series, 14 total, 5 in Cup, 2 in the trucks. I mean, in the Nationwide Series, there's only one other team with multiple wins, and that's Richard Childress. And they have owned this track, so it'll be an interesting comparison tonight to see how they do. And here's Morgan Shepherd right now as he has to qualify on time. Remember the time he's trying to beat, 28.45 of Kevin LePage, and it looks like he's got it. He is notched into the 27th spot right now. And so LePage is still the man on the bubble.
And boy, for a team like Morgan Shepherd is very low in finances to get locked in after you got to come clear from Carolina all the way out to Arizona to the race. That costs a lot of money, and it really makes a guy like this nervous thinking that he might not make this race. So great job out of him.
Going to get a paycheck this week.
Looks like he's going to maybe improve even a little bit as Morgan crosses. And it was better, but not enough to move him higher than 26th on the grid. But he's in the show, so Morgan will be racing at 9 o'clock Eastern, 0.34 seconds, which still means that Mark Green is the man on the bump spot. And while he brings it on back to the garage area, Jamie Little has caught up with Michael McDowell.
And the local man himself sits 11th right now. How much of a relief is it? This is the first week you guys had to qualify on time, and you guys are well in the field.
Yeah, no, it's great. We're really excited to have Roto-Rooter on the car this weekend. We hate coming here being out of the race, having to qualify your way in. So we just want a good, smooth night, get back in the top 25 in points, not have to worry about making these races, and just get some momentum. We had a couple tough weeks, and McDonald Motorsports guys work hard. So want to get him a good finish in front of the hometown crowd.
All right, and he has a new sponsor trying to make him proud, Marty.
Thank you, Jamie. As you finish up, Jason Keller locks himself in with his first lap of 28.48. If he can crack the top 10 in the race, it would be his 175th in the Nationwide Series. This wily old veteran, though, has had a struggle this season, guys. 2 of his 3 Nationwide starts have ended in DNFs.
That's a lot of top 10s for Keller. Been around for a long time doing this.
Whoa now. A little loose.
Second lap is better, at least until he got loose there, and
Still
he comes across. And it's very consistent, better by 1/1000th
of the reputation of putting cars in the field and cars that sometimes aren't really capable of doing it. Had a little trouble today, though, and he's going to have to watch these other cars qualify to see if he makes it.
Well, here's John Borneman as he started 28th and finished 43rd back at California. That's his only start of the season. And he's on his lap right now.
And he knows he's got the pressure on him, too. He's been watching a lot of guys get loose, and he got a little loose right there off a turn 2. That car wiggled around a little bit, lost a little bit of speed.
He is flirting.
Just below that time now, Mark Green.
Yeah, when you see that box that says the plus and minus, when it's plus like it is, and now it's minus, that means he's quicker. And as he comes to the stripe, he is in. Borneman, 28.71 seconds, doesn't even need to run the second lap. Looks like he is, though.
He's just trying to pick it up a little bit for this start position because it is important here. I mean, to get a good finish, you need to be starting up front. He wants to try to move himself up there a little bit.
Andy, that corner right there, turn 4, we've seen the many cars getting loose all day long right there. The corner's so wide and so long, and you pick the throttle up and you carry a lot more speed off a turn. That was a good, strong run. I remember that.
Danny O'Quinn now, the 24-year-old from Virginia. Remember, he has to beat the time of Mark Green. 28.78 seconds is the magic number, and right now he's not doing it.
Yeah, that's one thing that is an advantage when you know what you have to run to get in. He has to run a 28.78 or better to get in, and that's an advantage to know what you have to do, and that way you don't have to go and overdrive the car. You can see right now he's below that line, and looks like he will lock himself in.
And he does, 28.71 seconds by 700, so he is solidly in the field. The 2006 NASCAR Rookie of the Year in the Nationwide Series. Started 16th back at Bristol. That was his best start in 3 races this season.
A little bit quicker the second lap. The first lap, he just turned 3 and 4. That car was all over the place. A little bit lower line this particular time. Clock's in right now, a little faster, 28.52 compared to the first lap.
And we'll see what happens later tonight.
Qualified 18th. The goal is to get this car in the top 30 in points. Marty?
All right, thank you, Jamie. Derek Cope, the final man. It's either he's in or he's out. And if he gets in, it's Mark Green that's out.
It looks like if he doesn't do anything wrong, Derek Cope, he'll be in the race. You can see now he's a 10th and a half to the good in the green.
The 1990 Daytona 500 winner right now trying to punch his way into this Nationwide Series field, and it looks like he's going to do it. He does. He's 31st, 28.40 seconds. So now we know that Mark Green is the one and only car that is not going to qualify for tonight's race at 9 o'clock Eastern here on ESPN2.
Boy, if you'd asked me who was going to be the car going home, it would not have been Mark Green.
I think we all three would have agreed on that. But that's what happens if you just bang that wall. And
just one little slip. I mean, that wall has been tearing a lot of people up. I mean, we've seen some cars crash in practice. The 15 car of Michael Annett. We saw the 21 of John West Townley. We saw a lot of the Cup guys really loose and sliding out of control. And it bit Mark Green.
So as he brings it on out, we can tell you that Carl Edwards is going to be on pole. Kyle Busch